Hey guys, what's going on? It's Michael Panetta with Tech Examined, and today I've got a couple different products and I want to go over. And of course, we're doing this live as I do it. Lately, my videos have been, B-roll, and I would do the voiceover. But I wanted to do a quick unboxing and go over some of the gear that I've gotten. Now, I acquired the H6 a little while ago from Jonathan at TLD. Gave me a great deal. And the product is good, and it's top of the line, but it is a little larger than I would like for something that I'm going to be taking on the road and whatnot. So it's a real nice piece of equipment, and it has a ton of functionality to it, a ton of products that you can use for it as well. And it comes with a nice case and all that good stuff, and the cables to hook it up to the computer if it's something that you want to do. Now, it also comes with a 2 gig card and a ton of functionality on it, like I said, and of course a nice case. Now, the H5 is a newer product, just released, and I wanted to bring that to you guys to show you exactly why I decided to go with this over using the H6. Now, the internals are touted to be the exact same as the H6, so it kind of intrigued me. And of course, the design changes are supposed to be, a little better for on the road type deal. So you get a nice carrying case, much like the H4n that I used to have, and the same thing. You get the cables with it, and you get some batteries for it as well, and a voice or a windscreen for it on there. And of course, you get a 2 gig card, which I find a little bit annoying that they didn't give a full card. It's like, why would you not give a full card on it if you're going to do that? But, whatever. It's just, in my opinion, it just seems like it's easier to lose the smaller one as opposed to the larger one. But anyway, one of the things that is a little bit tough, every time you need to change a battery on the H6, you've got 4 batteries that you need to replace. And the battery life seems okay. I had a little issue with the H4n going through some batteries and whatnot, but the nice thing about the H5 is it only takes 2 batteries. Now, that remains to be seen how long that lasts and how well it works, but we'll bring that to you down the road. Now, of course, right off the bat, we've got a nice comparison in size on these right here. And the H6 is definitely much larger when it comes to the unit as well. Now, of course, you are getting 4 XLR inputs as opposed to 2, but they do make an attachment that it's for the H6. So you can actually add 2 more mics to it, and of course, you could put that on here as well because all the tops are interchangeable from the H6 to the H5, so that makes it a little bit of a bonus. In this instance, they do have the cross adapters on here, and these only shoot at 90, capture at 90, and if I wanted to, I could upgrade to the larger XY, and I could get the 120 on there to be able to do that. So a very nice option to be able to add that if I so please, and I don't necessarily have to use the one that comes with the H5 on it. Now, you see right off the bat there are a few design changes on these. And from a crossbar, so you don't mess up the volume if it's something that you set that is very specific for something that you do. And of course, from the size wise itself, you have a very, very big difference in thickness in these, as well as a little bit on the height. But the real idea is just the form factor on this. This is more rounded on it, and again, definitely seems lighter with that. We got to add the batteries in here, but I don't think that's going to make much of a difference on that. But the real reason why I'm doing this video the way I'm doing is because I want to do a sound test between the two. I've listened to a couple videos or watched a couple videos, and you couldn't really tell much of a difference, which in my opinion is a better reason to get the H5 as opposed to spend more money for the H6. Now, this video that we're shooting, I'm actually recording on the H1. So, you're getting an idea of what my videos normally sound like. Now, we were using the H6, so we're going to start using the H5. I've already sold this to someone, and so, the idea is I'm pretty impressed with the H5 just by looking at it. But, with the setup I'm doing today, I have the H1 right above me here. So that's how I'm working this right now, and you see the levels are pretty good on that, and I'm probably about I don't know, 1.5 feet away from the microphone itself. So we're going to try these in the same setup to see how well the video, or I'm sorry, how well the audio will work on those. So let's go ahead and just kind of take a quick peek at what the H5 has and what the H6 offers as far as the differences go. Now, obviously, right off the bat, you have a couple more XLR additions on that, and you know the H6 has a color screen. So if that's something that you are, that you need to absolutely have, you have the ability to do that. But and it is really tough to show here on screen as far as the lighting goes, but you can see that is a color display on there. Now the H5 does not have a color display, so let's go ahead and add the batteries in there real quick. One of the things that I really enjoy with the H6 is the ability to turn it on so fast. The H4n was without a doubt atrocious. I mean, it literally took a minute for this to turn on. You see the H6 is just a matter of less than 5 seconds to do that. And let's see exactly how fast the H5 turns on. Now, I did set this up and did the timing and everything off camera to set this up, so we'll see how fast that turns on compared to the H6. So that's it. That's ready to go and ready to record. So that very well might be faster than the H6, and I can test that out off camera when I do it. I'm not holding the phone in my hand to do that. So, we'll test that out and see exactly how that goes. Alright guys, so I have each one of these lined up, and this test is going to be run through all three, so you'll get to hear exactly what I'm saying when I'm saying it, while I'm saying it. And right now, we are recording, and I want to give you guys a test of what each one sounds like by simply talking. Now, I'm going to go through and change the source of each one that we're recording from, and to make it fair, on the H6 we are currently using the 90-degree XY mic on this, and like I said, the current XY mics on the H5 do not twist to 120 degrees like the H6. Now, that's not to say that you couldn't take the head from the H6 and switch it over, so I just wanted to make it fair at exactly how it works. Now, one of the things that I love about the H1 is the lack of ambient noise that you get, say, at a show. And it was much louder, and you would be able to get a great response from your person that you were speaking with, your subject, and you could hear exactly what they were saying, regardless of the sound that was going on around. So I think we've spent enough time for each one trying it out. I want to know what you guys think, and I'm going to go back and listen to this and, come back with my final thoughts on that and let you know what I think. So you're going from a $100 microphone to a $260 microphone on the H5, and the H6 I believe is a $350. So you're talking about a $100 difference between the two here, and almost another I wouldn't say $200, but almost $150 difference between the H5. I'm extremely impressed with the H1 itself for the price and for what it does. Now, you're expanding and I'm expanding on my channel, so to have an XLR attachment on the H5 for the shows and whatnot would be real nice, because I can use a microphone or a lapel mic on that from the XLR1 and the XLR2. So that's all I really need, and I have a smaller product to do it. So, what would be work for you would be depending on how you're going to use it. If you're going to be shooting YouTube videos and doing all that, and you can't tell a difference between each of these, then I would say go for the H1 if it's something that you're going to be using it for $100, in some cases less than $100. If you're someone that's going to know that you're going to be going out to shows and going out to the field and doing things, you may want to be able to set up the H5 to not only record, or the H6, off of the mics that you can change out, but you want to use an XLR mic and expand the usability of the product itself. Now, I'm going to go over more in depth on the recording features of each of these as far as being able to capture better quality based on settings. So I'll go over that in a future video and go between the two. But the H6 just looks official as hell with all the knobs and everything on it. But in actuality, you're not using a majority of these most of the time if you're using it simply for recording off of the microphone that's included. And there are accessories that I'd like to get my hands on for each of these. There is a boom mic as well as an XLR adapter, and of course, we had something that would be more useful for, say, like a podcasting type of mic, to have that right in front of you. Not to say you couldn't use this, the XLR, for that, but this is just a different style of using as well. So, you definitely get a greater use of these two products, the H5 and the H6, when it comes to expandability over the H1, but again, you pay the price for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just skip to my final thoughts on these and cut out so I can give you an idea of what I think right off the bat between the three. Alright guys, so that was the three microphones, the H1, the H5, and the H6, and you could definitely tell a difference between the H1 and the other two. And as far as the H5 and H6, if you put headphones on, I could tell a slight variance to that. Now, the H5 and H6 have much more expanded capabilities when it comes to audio itself, as far as quality goes. Now, if you're a real audiophile, you can look more into that. The H6 has a lot more expandability to WAV and MP files as well. So if that's something that you're looking forward to doing, or maybe a limitation of what software you're using, maybe the MP3 files would be better. But, they go up pretty high. They've got a large range. Now, I'm pretty happy with just the WAV file on the H6 and the H5. That's always what I've used. So you can bump up the H5 a little bit, but, I wanted to just keep them the same to do that just as the standard setting, because most people aren't going to mess with that. And as you saw in the beginning when I started doing the comparisons, the H1 has a standard, pretty decent high rating for there. So you can definitely hear the H1 was a lot more muffled and more centered. And if you were talking directly into that, in a show, it sounds great because it gets rid of all the sound on the outside. Whereas the H5 and H6 were a little bit more expanded and you can hear more, but it was a lot clearer and a lot sharper. Now, like I said, when I put headphones on, you could really hear the difference between the three. And between the H5 and H6, you can hear a slight difference, but, I don't think it's honestly that much of a difference for the price that you pay. Really, what you're paying for at this point is the extra XLR as well as the functionality of the H6 that you get on that. Now, I'm recording on the H5 right now, and one of the things setting up by myself to do that is the H6 has that slope down screen on the front. So with the XY portion facing me, I'd always have to look up and see that my audio is working okay. I mean, of course, you could do a monitor as well if you wanted to make sure that where you're at, but I always like to look at it. And with the H5 and the H1, you can see it right there on top of the screen. It works out pretty well. So what do you guys think? Do you want me to go over the specs on the H6 and the H5 as far as audio between the two, or I should say between the WAV file differences on that? I can record something real quick for that and throw it up for that. But what do you think? Comment down below. Which one do you like better? Do you have any questions? We can go over it. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a little long. Stick around. I've got a lot more coming up. Got some phones that we're going to be reviewing very soon. So stick around and I'll talk to you later. See ya!